What's going on YouTube? So I recently read that Hyundai and Kia were the two automakers that expanded their market shares the most during 2020. Their fleets of new and well-received SUVs have strengthened the brands and put them on the radar of people who would normally choose something like a Toyota or Honda. Now, we have already compared the Telluride and the Palisade on this channel, but for those of you who want something a bit smaller and more affordable, the all-new Kia Sorento and new Hyundai Santa Fe are two of the best midsize SUVs you can pick. But which one is the better of the two? Let's go ahead and find out. One thing neither Hyundai nor Kia has messed with throughout their rebirth is the fact that both are value focused. So let's start by establishing the pricing of these two. Starting with the Sorento, we have the fully loaded model called SX Prestige, and because it has the available all-wheel drive system, the X-Line package is also thrown in. After a small $200 charge for the rust-colored interior and the destination, the total price rings in at $43,960. For the Santa Fe, we are using the limited all-wheel drive trim, which is also the top model of the lineup until the new calligraphy trim enters production down the road. It has 95% of the features that the calligraphy will have, and stickers in less than the Sorento as well, at $42,330 all in. We will address the price difference at the end of the video when we discuss value, but as you can see, both are well under the typical fully loaded price of $50,000 that most of the rivals in this class have. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this comparison by starting with the exteriors. To be clear right from the start, these two are related to each other foundationally and mechanically, but you certainly wouldn't be able to tell it from this styling. They are polar opposites, with the Sorento having a rugged vibe, while the Santa Fe goes with a more urban and luxurious look. As always, we'll keep our subjective opinions to ourselves, but we'd love to hear which one you prefer in the comments below. Regardless, it's safe to say that both certainly stand out, especially the Hyundai's lighting. It has full LED headlights separated into two different units, and a really neat T-shaped daytime running light connecting them. The Kia also has full LED lights, but it has the extra benefit of fog lamps. I also want to mention that the Sorento backs up its more rugged look by actually having more ground clearance. Checking out the sides, they share the same platform and are pretty much the same length. And then as far as the wheels, the Sorento comes with 20-inch alloys compared to odd-looking 19s on the Santa Fe. Around back, the same design differences play out. However, in terms of actual features, both have LED taillights and tow ratings of 3,500 pounds. The Hyundai gives you an exposed exhaust outlet, but the Kia hides the rear wiper. Now beyond the styling, both models have heated, power-folding mirrors with blind spot indicators. And they also come loaded with all the latest safety gear, including automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and auto high beam headlights. However, one convenience feature exclusive to the Hyundai is the Smart Park system, which can pull into tight parking spots unmanned. There is also a difference when it comes to the warranties. They both come equipped with 5-year 60,000-mile basic and 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranties. However, Hyundai has now added 3 years of complimentary maintenance. Alright, so that's it for the exteriors. So now let's go ahead and check out the totally reimagined interiors before we take them out for a test drive. So walking up to the vehicles, both models have smart entry systems with remote start on the fob. However, new for 2021, the Hyundai now has a digital key system that allows you to use your cell phone as the key if you prefer. The Santa Fe also now has a sensor behind the door handle to unlock, which is still missing from the Kia. Now first opening up the doors, you'll see that just like the outside, the interiors share virtually nothing. They have very upscale designs, but the special quilted rust interior on the Kia does make a better first impression. However, outside of the quilting, the Santa Fe seats have the advantage. It has more adjustability with 4-way lumbar and power thigh extension. Plus it has memory seats which are unavailable on the Sorento. As far as overall materials and quality inside of the cabins, both have their advantages and disadvantages over each other. The Kia has soft touch plastic on the upper dash instead of hard, and nice looking faux wood. However, the Hyundai uses leatherette padding along many of the lower areas that the Kia leaves hard. All in all, it'll boil down to personal taste. Now looking at the gauges, we'll reveal one of the very few aspects that these two share, the 12.3-inch full digital gauges. This is probably one of the best digital setups available in a mainstream vehicle, with beautiful graphics and crisp resolution. They both also have the blind spot camera system, and neither have head-up displays. And then coming back to the steering wheels, both are leather-wrapped, heated, and have manual adjusting. Next up, we have the very important aspect of storage, where the two of them are about equal. The Kia makes better use of the space up top, with several cubbies and a large covered storage area. However, the Hyundai makes up for its choppy storage with a large center pass-through. Now with the Santa Fe's extensive interior refresh, they decided to go with an electronic push-button shifter compared to the Kia's traditional one. Regardless of your personal preference between them, both will have 360-degree camera systems when in reverse. So with the Hyundai, they have opted to put all the rest of the buttons on the same panel, including the climate controls. Like the Sorento, it has a dual-zone automatic setup. However, instead of being in one spot, you have to look up to see the adjustments in the display, which seems like a potential safety issue. Alright, so now let's go ahead and sample the audio systems. So while they are from different brands, the end result is that they are both quite good and neither has a distinct advantage. And now that brings us to the infotainment systems. While they have different names and slightly different graphics, they are exactly the same software-wise and with the 10.25-inch displays. They both have navigation, split-screen abilities, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. And finally, the last thing to mention up front are that both have panoramic moonroofs. Alright, now moving on to the rear areas. As you would expect, they share nearly identical dimensions for both leg and headroom. However, beyond that, there are actually a lot of differences. For one, the Sorento comes with captain's chairs instead of bench seating, which may or may not be a positive depending on your needs. Additionally, it comes with an extra USB port. However, the Santa Fe has a household outlet that the Sorento doesn't have. Also, the Hyundai has rear sunshades and heated rear seats. But there is one difference that is much more important than all of those, and that's the fact that the Sorento comes standard with a third row of seats, and the Santa Fe cannot get them on any trim. While it is true that they are small seats, they are still 100% usable, and it really increases the versatility since you have them if you need them. Now moving around to the rear, both have smart opening tailgates. And once they open up, you'll find an approximately 5% advantage in the Kia, despite the fact that it has third row seats taking up space. We still have a really tight race, so now let's head out on the road to see if one of them will pull out ahead. As you've seen up to this point, these two don't share much in terms of what you can see, but they share a whole lot more when you're talking about stuff you can't see. For starters, they have the same all-new powertrain, a 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine, paired with an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. This new motor and transmission combo is fast, and launches both models off with authority and really quick shifts.
And there is 60 miles an hour in the all-new 2021 Kia Sorento. Wow.
And just like that, already up to 60. This new engine, which I'm getting ready to talk about, we basically have all new powertrains across all of the engines. In this model, we've got the 2.5 turbo engine. It's making 277 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, which is a substantial increase of 42 horsepower more than the previous 2-liter upgraded engine in the Santa Fe. So that's really a big change, and you can certainly feel that behind the wheel. This is really a quick engine. Now, as you would expect from platform mates, many aspects from behind the wheel are similar. However, that is certainly not a bad thing considering how good they are. Both ride qualities are excellent, and they do a great job of soaking up imperfections in the road.
But I know we've been talking a lot about this turbo engine. The main mission of the Sorento is obviously just to be comfortable for you and your family and all 3 rows. And I have to say, very, very impressed. We are in the fully loaded SX Prestige trim, but the ride quality is exceptional. When you hit a bump, you really can't feel it.
While neither of them are what you would call sporty, the steerings are nicely weighted and body roll is kept to a reasonable level. Additionally, they are very quiet inside of the cabins.
And as far as the noise level, that's also very good. So we can go ahead and get a sound level going 55 miles per hour.
With our official readings at 55 miles per hour on the same road, they tested with less than a 2% difference between them.
And at 55 miles per hour, we're sitting at 57 decibels, which that's very good for a high speed like this. Definitely on point with what I would expect.
And finally, finishing up this part, they have the exact same fuel economy rating of 21 city, 28 highway, 24 combined. Okay, so the last thing to consider here at the end is the value proposition, since there is a $1,630 price cap between these two. Applying our value correction of a half point per $1,000 of difference means that the Hyundai will add 1 point to its score, taking it ahead of the Kia. So there you have it. These two siblings battled back and forth the entire way through. Like I said at the beginning, they are definitely two of the best products in the segment, and both offer excellent value for what you get. At the end of the day, however, it'll probably come down to your opinion about the Hyundai having a few extra features, or the fact that the Kia is the better looking of the two, at least in our opinions. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this Car Confections comparison, and we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel to help us keep making more in-depth comparison videos, as well as all other kinds of automotive content. Take care and stay safe out there.